Hey guys, welcome back to our channel. I am Doran. This is Not Easily Broken. In this video, I want to share with you why a man must first learn to lead himself before he can lead his wife and his family. Let's have this conversation. Guys, we're going to ask you to do us a favor and hit that like button. If you want to help this channel grow, then hit that like button. You know what it's going to do? It's going to help the YouTube algorithm to recognize that people like this video. And if they like the video, then they going to show it to more audience. That's how the algorithm works. So please help us to reach more audience by liking this video. Let's get right into it. Before a man can lead his wife and his family, he must first learn how to lead himself. Learning to lead yourself well is one of the most important things you'll ever do as a man. Leading yourself well means that you hold yourself at a higher standard of accountability than others do. In other words, you must be conscious of what you are doing daily. The decisions you make daily will affect and determine the outcome you will achieve tomorrow. See, a man cannot lead his wife until he knows how to lead himself. The kind of marriage he has is a reflection of his leadership. The relationship that a man has with his wife and his family is a reflection of the relationship that he has with himself. The way a man loves his wife is based on how he loves himself, how he treats himself. Ephesians chapter 5 and verse 28 talks about he must love his wife as his own body. He that loveth his wife loveth himself. A man cannot give to his wife what he does not have for himself. You see, this is why personal growth and personal development is so critical to a successful relationship. I talk about this all the time because until you grow, nothing around you will grow. Until you change, nothing around you will change. So the change that you want to see in your spouse, the change that you want to see in others must first begins with you. Why most wives are frustrated? See, most wives are frustrated in their marriage because their husband does not have a vision for the family. A man must have a vision for his family. He must first know who he is as a man, where he is going, and he must know how he's going to get there. One of the most frustrating things for a wife is asking her husband, what is his plan for the future? What is his plan for the marriage and for the family? And his response is, I don't know. Oh, that's very frustrating for a woman. Very frustrating for your wife. See, guys, your wife is your helpmeet. She's your helpmate. One of her gifts as a wife is to help you to birth purpose. Her womb is not only made to carry your seed or to push out babies. See, your wife knows how to help you to give birth to your purpose, your goals, your visions, and your dreams that you have for your family. She wants you to impregnate her with the things that you are carrying for the marriage and for the family. She wants to be your help. The reason why many wives are frustrated and miserable in their marriage is because the husband has not given them anything to work with. See, most men doesn't know this, but security is one of the most important thing to a woman. It's one of the most important thing to your wife. She needs to feel secure in the marriage. She needs to feel secure in the relationship. And one of the ways that you secure your wife is by allowing her to see your leadership, by you incorporating her in the things that you need to do for the family. And it takes a man that knows how to lead in order to demonstrate and express that to his wife. A husband must have a purpose. When we look at the creation of God, it gives us a clear picture of what God wanted from a man, wanted man to do. Before God brings the woman into the picture, he had to develop the man. He had to groom him. He had to cultivate him. And how did God do that? The problem in relationship today is male are not developed into a man. God had to develop the man, and how God developed the man was place him in the Garden of Eden. In Genesis chapter 2 and verse 15, God put the man in the Garden of Eden and give man an assignment. The man had to protect the garden. He had to work it and protect it. God was teaching Adam how to be responsible. God was teaching Adam how to be a protector, how to be a provider, how to be conscious of his responsibility as a man. Because God knows if he can protect what he assigned him to, then he is capable and he is able to protect the woman that he was going to give to him. The woman did not come into the picture until Adam was ready from a physical, from a psychological, from a mental, from a spiritual, and an intellectual and emotional perspective. He had to be cultivated by God before the woman came along. Ladies, if you marry a man that is lazy, don't want to do anything, don't want to work, I'm sorry for you. You're going to have a whole lot of problem. See, an ambitious man knows that his work fulfill him. His work give him passion and give him the wherewithal and the desire to get up every day and do it for his family. Adam needed work before he needed a wife. You need work. You need assignment. See, I got married in my early 20s. I'm now married for 27 years, guys. My wife and I, we started out with nothing. I did not know who I was as a man and what my responsibility was as a husband. I had to learn fast. I had to take on the role of a husband. It was not good enough that I was married. I am now a husband responsible for caring for a wife. I had to grow up real fast. And if you are married and you're acting like a teenager, acting like a single man, doing dumb stuff and not taking care of your responsibility, I want to challenge you that it's time for you to straighten up and you need to start flying right. You need to start doing the right things because your marriage is going to depend on it. Mirror, mirror on the wall. See, most men don't want to look in the mirror because they're going to look at the problem, smacking them right in the face. You. Yes, you. You are the problem. You are looking at the person that you need to change, and that is you. See, one of the most fierce opponent, one of the most challenging opponent that you will ever face in your life, it is not your wife, it's not your children, it's not the devil, it is you. See, I had to look within myself and confront all the personal issues that were preventing me from becoming the man that God called me to be. I did not change to make my wife happy. No, I changed and I grew because I needed to grow. It was needed for me. The moment I faced the giants in my life, I was not afraid to become the man that God wanted me to be. And that was what impacted me. It gives me the passion to become an influencer in the lives of those that the Lord have placed in my care. That was my family. That was my wife. Because I need to change in order for me to expect her or my kids to change. You have to focus on you. See, the mirror is not going to lie to you. It will show you the man that you are. And you only have two options. You can make all the excuses in the world why you can't change and you don't know how to. Or number two, you can make the decision and you can confront the issues that is holding you back from becoming the man that God have called you to be. You can make a decision. See, human nature seems to endow us with the ability to size up everybody in the world except ourselves. Key to leading yourself. Why is leading yourself well so important? Because there is a lot riding on it. God has given us things to do in the earth. God wants us to be a builder. God wants us to cultivate and complete the things that He wants us to accomplish. I don't want to fail because I was not willing to put in the work and work hard and work on myself. The Apostle Paul understood this. And in 1 Corinthians chapter 9, 25 to 27, he wrote, "Everyone who competes in the game goes into strict training. They do it to get the crown that will not last, but we do it to get a crown that will last forever. Therefore, I do not run like a man running aimlessly. I do not fight like a man beating the air. No, I beat my body and make it my slave so that after I have preached to others, I myself will not be disqualified for the prize." In other words, guys, Paul was saying, work hard at leading yourself so that you can effectively lead others. If that is your goal, there are things that you can do to improve your leadership skill, that you can improve yourself with. And I want to talk about 5 things that you can do. Number 1, learn followership. Only a leader who has followed well knows how to lead others well. See, a man must have someone that he can look up to. And I believe the first leader or the first influence that we should have in our lives is our fathers. And most of us were not raised with our father. Most men get married and they did not have a good role model to follow. They didn't see a prototype. They didn't have a carbon copy. They didn't have a blueprint. They didn't have a template to help them to develop. And so inside of them trapped the men that have not developed. They are male, but they have not developed into a man. Every male need a man to lead him and teach him how to become one. In 1 Corinthians chapter 13 and verse 11, it says that when I was a child, I spake as a child, I understood as a child, I thought as a child. But when I become a man, I put away childish things. There is a big difference between being a male and being a man. Every boy need a father figure to teach them how to become a man. You have to be a good follower before you can become a good leader. The disciples had Jesus, Joshua had Moses, Elisha had Elijah. You need someone who can lead you, who you consider a little bit higher than you in their status, in their thinking, in their ability. Someone that you can look up to, who you can be under authority with. See, a husband who never follow well or submit to authority tend to be very prideful, unrealistic, rigid, and autocratic. They lord their position and their power over others. Jesus warned against that in Matthew chapter 20 and verse 24. But God wants us to submit one to another. God wants us to reverence ourselves before Christ. Number 2, develop self-discipline. It is said that one day Frederick the Great of Persia was walking on the outskirts of Berlin when he encountered a very old man walking straight in the opposite direction. "Who are you?" Frederick asked his subject. "I am a king," replied the old man. "A king?" laughed Frederick. "Over what kingdom do you reign?" "Over myself," was the proud old man's reply. We are responsible for ruling our actions and decisions. To make consistently good decisions, we take the right action at the right time, and refrain from the wrong action requires character and self-discipline. To do otherwise is to lose control of ourselves, to do or say things we regret, to miss opportunity we are given. When we are foolish, we want to conquer the world. When we are wise, we want to conquer ourselves. This begins when we do what we should, no matter how difficult it is. Number 3, practice patience. See, a husband must learn to practice patience. The Bible tells us that love is patient. You will have to exercise patience with your wife and with your family. You have to practice it. Patience is not a skill that we're born with. It is a skill that we need to develop. Patience is also a part of the fruit of the Spirit. There is no such thing as instant greatness or instant maturity. Not for you, not for me. We are used to instant oatmeal, instant coffee, instant microwave popcorn. Everything has to be instant. Everything has to be right now. But becoming a leader, becoming a good husband will not happen overnight. See, microwave leaders don't have any staying power. You have to germinate. You have to grow. You have to change. You have to become a greater person. Leaders need to remember that at the point of leading, it is not to cross the finish line first. It is to take others with you. It is to allow others to finish with you. Number 4, seek accountability. Few things are more disheartening or harmful than seeing Christian men, Christian husbands who fail in their trust because of an ethical failure. Husbands who lead themselves well knows a secret. They know that they cannot trust their flesh. They cannot trust themselves. Good leader knows that the power can be seductive. They understand their own fallibility. To deny it is to put yourself in danger. That is why as men we must never put ourselves in situation where we compromise our character and our integrity to do something that we know is wrong. A man, a husband who lead must know his weakness and his strength. Listen, guys, I know and I read a lot about husbands who failed ethically in their leadership and in their marriage. Can you guess what they all had in common? They all thought that it could never happen to them. They had a false sense of security. You can never say it will never happen to you. I made a commitment that I will live by every day. First, I will not trust myself. Second, I will become accountable to others. Accountability is not just the willingness to explain your action to others. It begins long before we act. It starts with seeking and accepting advice from others. Most wrong action comes about because people are not held accountable early enough. Number 5, a higher standard. Leading yourself will mean that you hold yourself at a higher standard in accountability. And why is that important? Because God holds you accountable to not only your own action, but to those you are leading, your family, your church, your community. Leadership is a trust, not a right. For that reason, we fixed ourselves earlier than others may be required to. See, the bottom line is that the smallest crowd you will ever lead is you. And that is the most important one. If you do that well, you will earn the right to lead your wife, to lead your family. If you are faithful over a few things, God will make you ruler over many. Lead well, and God will reward you for your faithfulness. Guys, that's the end of this video. I would like to hear what you think. Do you think that most men are prepared to lead in their marriage? Leave a comment in the comment section. If this video adds some value to you, please hit the like button, share, and subscribe to this YouTube channel. And guys, thank you for watching. I appreciate you, and I can't wait to see you in the next one.